Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Order of Battle Blitzkrieg. This is the second battle that we're about to fight. In this game, this is part 3 of a brand new Let's Play series, which aims to play through the game Order of Battle Blitzkrieg, and hopefully get to Order of Battle Panzerkrieg, which is the new DLC which just came out, which links Blitzkrieg up with Panzerkrieg to take you all the way through the late, sort of into the late period of the Russo-German War during World War II, but we're not there yet. In our first two videos, we fought the initial invasion of Poland. We drove the Polish forces from the field. We killed more than 20 of them, and we took our objectives. So we won the battle there, not decisively, but we won it. We are now moving on to the attack on Warsaw. Outskirts of Warsaw, September 1939. German armored forces have reached the suburbs of the Polish capital. The eventual fall of Warsaw City should conclude our campaign against Poland. So that's our battle. Let's go ahead and jump in and see where we start. I don't know how many of the forces we had last turn are core forces that we get to carry over, or how many of them were sort of just ancillary forces, but we'll find out. So here's the mission briefing. After the hold-up at Milwaja, the Army Group North has continued its advance toward Warsaw. To cut the enemy supply lines, it must now cross the narrow river and reach the eastern part of the Polish capital. In the meantime, the 4th Panzer Division has already reached the suburbs of Warsaw. The Poles have turned the city into a fortress, however, and our assaults have been, thus far, have been repulsed with significant losses. Equally concerning, the Polish Ponzan and Pomoroz's armies have launched a counterattack near Kutno. We may have to divert forces away from Warsaw to deal with this new threat against our flank. Ultimately, our objective is to destroy the Polish troops in and around Warsaw. With the fall of the capital, the Polish government will be forced to accept an unconditional surrender. Okay, so that's the situation. You can see here our primary objectives in this battle are to destroy 40 Polish ground units and capture the city of Warsaw. Capture or encircle Warsaw, apparently. Huh, so we don't actually have to capture? What does that even mean? Interesting. Secondary objective, defeat Kutno counterattack, fighters deal 30 damage to enemy aircraft, capture the Modlin fortress, and capture the armored train. Okay. You can see here we actually have several of our units. So we've got some heavy infantry, we've got 2 armored units, and an artillery unit that we get to carry over. You can see here we've got about 95 coin, if you will, to replenish our losses. Some of our units are not at full strength, so we'll have to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to use elite reinforcements to do that. So I don't actually know if I'm going to have any fighters to shoot down enemy aircraft with. I guess we'll find out. I may have to buy that once we kind of get into the fighting. Now, last time I fought, I played principally from the southern front and tried to just attack Warsaw head-on. That didn't work so well, so we may try some different tactics here. Most of the troops in the south are not within our command. We're actually going to go ahead and put both of our Stuka dive bombers in the south. I'm going to use those Stukas as a way to try and buttress these forces here. These forces with the white background and the Iron Cross are not ours. They're German forces, but they're AI forces. So I'm going to use those 2 dive bomber units to try and buttress the defense against the Modlin counteroffensive. Hopefully we can succeed in holding that off. Meanwhile, I'm going to take one of our units. We're going to take the Panzer Mark 38, and we'll put it here. Actually, I wonder. I want to add some troops to the northern front because I want to try and drive Warsaw from the east. I just don't know how much of my forces I want to do that with. We've got 2 troops up here. I think what we do is we put some artillery, and we put some infantry, and then we put the other armored unit here down in the south. I think that's what we'll do. Whoops. Put them up there. So the armor is going to be in the south, I suppose, and then we should have, if we're successful, we'll have enough money to buy some new units. We only have $24 left over, though, so about all we'd have enough for some engineers, which actually, the engineers could be useful, so let's go ahead and purchase them and put them in the south. It'll take a while to get up to Modlin, but I think we're going to have time. This is a 30-turn battle, so we'll do that. Go ahead and end the turn. And we'll start it off. Now, the Polish actually start this battle on the offensive, so their turn 1, they get to fight before we do. You can see their counteroffensive has already begun. Their cavalry attempted to attack this town. I'm not sure what it's called, but they suffered casualties, didn't inflict any. Meanwhile, on the far left side of the map, another infantry unit's attacking our AI infantry here, and they've inflicted 2 casualties, losing nothing of their own. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and fly our Stukas over here and further weaken these Polish forces, hopefully to break up the counteroffensive here. Again, using our dive bombers as a way to buttress the local forces. All right, so we're going to drive on Putsk, and then I'm going to drive east to take these key towns here to close in on Warsaw. Looks like to surround Warsaw, we need to take these particular objectives along the eastern edge of the map, because they all have this little golden flagstaff. Oh god. Can you run away, please? No? Alright, well this armored unit's gonna get destroyed in a turn. Damn. Didn't realize it'd be that strong right here. Yikes. It's a whole bunch of Polish troops there. I don't even want to attack, but I kind of feel like I have to. Hopefully, our armored unit doesn't get destroyed next turn. That fight went about as expected, 1-1, so it's going to be a bit of a slog up there. Meanwhile, our southern flank here, we've got a couple of armored units and some infantry. Looks like the town of Zardau is open, so we can go ahead and take that. Go ahead and use our armor to drive this way. We're not going to drive directly in on the capital. We're going to kind of work our way around and destroy some of these other ancillary forces here. Essentially, I want to secure my flank from any Polish forces that might come in behind us. I think that about does it for this turn. We've got 1 recon unit, which we'll go ahead and destroy this minefield with. I don't think the Polish will come out and attack us, so I know we did lose some casualties doing that, but we also cleared a minefield, which will make it easier to approach the capital when the time comes. That being said, that's going to do it for turn 1, so we'll go ahead and turn it back over to the Poles and allow them to continue their counteroffensive. At least I assume that's what they're going to do. You can see here, actually the AI forces, the German AI forces are attacking first and dealing some damage here to these Polish troops. Almost destroyed them. Meanwhile, they launched some artillery against this enemy cavalry. They launched some engineers up against the cav and inflicted some casualties there also. And a second unit's going to attack the cav head-on, driving them back again. Both these units down to 1 health. Oh, wait, maybe this one will get destroyed. Anti-tank moves forward to engage. And do they finish him off? Yes, they do. All right. So now you may remember that we have one of our primary objectives is to destroy... Oh, goodness, the armored train's going to be very offensive this turn and move out against us. You may remember that one of our objectives is to destroy 40 enemy units. The units that are destroyed by friendly AI also count toward that total. So enemy cavalry moving forward, infantry also attacking our armor. Hopefully they retreat. Hopefully. No, they don't, but... Flank secured. The Polish counterattack's been defeated. The remaining enemy forces around Kutno are now retreating toward Warsaw. Holy crap, that was fast. How did we defeat it that fast? Alright, that's actually going to give us a different challenge this time around. Because I imagine they're all going to retreat east toward this roadway if they're really retreating toward Warsaw, which means now we've got to get in there and try and cut them off. Okay. I'm not going to attack him. I'm actually going to reinforce him. Yeah. Interesting. Alright, we'll use our armor to move forward here and try and take this pillbox. So we're securing our flank, again, trying to prevent any Polish troops from retreating into our rear and cutting our own forces at the suburbs of Warsaw off. I really want to make sure that all of these troops aren't facing too many Poles, so we have to try and cut off any retreat that they may launch. I'm guessing the fact that I don't really know what the contingent was for the Poles to be defeated, I guess. Just one unit being destroyed did it? That was really interesting. Last time it was a hard-fought engagement, and it lasted several turns. Alright, polar armor out. Alright, so engage with our engineers and heavy infantry. We nearly destroyed that enemy unit, drove them back. Don't want my engineers to advance, because they're going to be kind of sitting ducks against anything. Really, they're decent on the attack, they're good against fixed positions, they're not good against enemy infantry. Okay, so you can see the AI troops are already shifting east now that they've stopped the Modlin counteroffensive. And they're going to, I assume, start moving toward the city of Warsaw. Now, what I noticed in my last battle, which was to some frustration, I'm talking of a live stream that did it a few days ago that didn't go well, is that the AI moved to the vicinity of Warsaw, but they really didn't help us at all. Okay, you can see the enemy cavalry moving toward our engineers. Enemy armor still thinks it's counterattacking, I guess. Actually, some infantry moving forward, too. So hopefully the AI doesn't get too stupid and evacuate its rear. I'm going to need to buy a fighter aircraft, because the Poles end up having like 3 or 4 fighter bombers. Yep, you can see them moving along that roadway toward Warsaw. I want to block that northern route, too. I want to good and surround these guys. You can see these infantry are attacking our engineers, inflicting 4 casualties. Our troops only inflicting 2 in return. They're really hitting our troops in the north heavy. Now our infantry is doing alright, our regular infantry. Pulling these guys out, reinforcing. Alright, so again, biding our time with our northern troops. We've got 30 turns. Feels like we've got plenty of time at this point. Our dive bombers. Can't quite get to the armored train. We'll help finish this pillbox off. They destroyed that enemy cavalry unit. And there they go. Just destroyed the pillbox. Should prevent troops from retreating north as well. Let's get these engineers over here to deal with this armored train. Okay. Alright, launched a strong attack from 3 different units on the armored train. Suppressed it. I think it's pinned in. It can't retreat west or east. Its rail line is blocked. It's lost a few casualties. I'll bring my Air Force over to bomb it next turn. Meanwhile, these 2 armored units are going to probably, one of them will advance north to take this town. Again, just to cut off the potential retreat of these AI forces. We'll see what the enemy does, though. We've got a pretty good recon, or a aerial view of what the Polish troops in this Kutno pocket are doing because of our air units in the area. And if we have to, we can always sweep west to deal with any threat that the Polish might have. They are still attacking these 2 towns, which are really key to defending our flank. Those Polish engineers just got shot up, So nothing too much to worry about there, I don't think. The armored unit scares me a little bit more, but these troops are dug in as witnessed by these sandbags. And the last battle they did pretty well in, so I'm hoping we're okay. See here. In the north, the enemy's still kind of threatening and advancing. This armored unit just swept west. I don't know if they're attacking this artillery of ours, but they've also got some anti-tank guns in defense. So they're getting rocked pretty hard. They got pushed back, decided to attack anyway, though, and these guys almost died. See here, they're trying to retreat east. We need to try and destroy this pocket if we can. Quite a few units moving this way. So I think we made a good decision to move our armor west originally into a blocking position. Destroyed 4 Polish units. The Blitzkrieg, the French Saar offensive, which if you remember from our last video was kind of mentioned that it was occurring, has been called off, allowing German forces to retake most of their lost territory as the Western Front remains quiet. Poland clearly stands alone. Okay. All right. So you can tell here that our tactical bombers are just chewing up this armored train. Which is now destroyed. We have captured a Polish armored train. It has taken significant damage in combat, but our mechanics are determined to repair this behemoth for future operations. Okay, well that works. Meanwhile, starting to reduce the Polish bunkers in and around Warsaw. Our armored unit advanced there and just destroyed the majority of this horse transport, carrying something, what, I don't know. They had a couple of units. It would have been nice to be able to storm multiple units there, but we couldn't do it. We could have bombed them from the air probably very effectively also, but again, we didn't do it. Okay. Didn't quite destroy that Polish cavalry unit. We did drive him back, nearly destroyed him, inflicted 3 casualties. So we'll start moving toward Route NE shortly. Meanwhile, I'm trying to hopefully preserve my force enough so that we can start building up some money here to buy a fighter unit. Because again, I know the Polish are going to get some air units, and we're going to need an ability to counter those. They can really hinder our ability to effectively fight them. But I'm glad that these troops keep launching suicidal attacks there. That was a free kill, launching an attack they had no chance of succeeding with. Actually, I suppose the AI Germans are the one launching the attack now. Now it's the Polish turn. Which they just advanced to attack again. I don't know why. I guess they're trying to destroy that artillery, which I guess makes some sense. But why would you advance your cavalry with 1 strength right back forward again? That makes no sense to me. Enemy flak. Looks like the one we damaged was anti-tank, which is perfect. The one that can have the most effect against us. Okay, the bunker. And the Polish Air Force has shown up. Soviet invasion. We're receiving reports that the Soviet army has begun a large-scale invasion of eastern Poland. Under the terms of our non-aggression pact, they will assimilate this territory into the Soviet Union. Right? Bomber arrived. A unit of Heinkel 111 bombers has arrived. The Luftwaffe intends to cripple Polish defenses through intensive aerial bombardment. Very well. Alright. Can't get to any of these guys. Great. Neither of these units can. Okay, we just took that town. And we finished destroying that guy. Alright, use some of that for reinforcements. There you go. So we're still in front of Warsaw. Alright, so we just finished destroying that Polish anti-tank gun. Unfortunately, these guys could still escape north. We have to, I think, fly our dive bombers over this way and hope to reduce them. There's a Polish bunker there, which is blocking our ability to block their escape. Enemy cavalry's destroyed. Damn. Enemy, is that an anti-tank gun firing in support? Okay, so very even fight here. I'm hoping they don't have a ton of reinforcements to pour in, because all these units are vulnerable, except probably the engineers, to be destroyed this next turn. I'm assuming, given that destroying 40 Polish units is the objective, or one of the principal objectives, they have a finite number of units, and when you destroy them, they're gone for good. That's certainly my hope. Now advance your anti-tank up here and finish them off. Or not. Guessing they're going to move something in here. They're attacking our armor and paying for it. Still trying to break out. Attacking some of these German troops down here, which the AI also doesn't appear to be reinforcing itself. Oh, we had cut off these Polish troops. I didn't even realize that. But they just got out of the encirclement. There's your Polish Air Force. At least those guys didn't really do any damage. There's quite a few of them, actually. I think they've got 3 or 4 air units. I don't think I have enough money. Alright, so we've got some new reserves coming in here on the western flank. And ambushed. Armored car. Good job. Seems like 5 is the most in the way of reinforcements that any one unit can bring in, and if there's enemy contact, it's really a max of 1 or 2. Okay, spent that turn reinforcing our northern force. Alright, so nearly destroyed that anti-aircraft gun. We're going to fly here and bomb it. So he's destroyed. Go ahead and bomb that guy. He's not dead, but he's getting there. Move this armor west to deal with these insolent little upstarts that are coming our way. We'll move our recon car because he can go further and faster than anybody. I think we'll leave him on the defensive for now. Reinforce our armor and our infantry. And approach just slightly Warsaw. He moved and he can reinforce. Both these attacked, so they can't. We've got our Heinkel 111 bomber. Guess I'll go ahead and drop some bombs on German or Polish troops. Actually, he did some damage there. Nice. Level bombers rarely do any damage. And that'll be the end of the turn. We've got 1 unit that could have attacked. No real unmoved units. Okay. Finish him off. There you go. He should be dead. There you have it. Polish armor destroyed. That's another kill for us. Polish Air Force is really annoying. really need to figure out a way to deal with it. I don't even have any anti-aircraft guns. I guess that would do it. Put an anti-aircraft gun here. I think they're relatively inexpensive, too. Probably buy one and put it in the city. I just hate wasting money on things like that. Feels like something I should be able to deal with on my own. Okay, hopefully they don't destroy that recon unit of ours. If they had any sense, they would retreat, but they don't, so they won't. Still a pretty heavy effort against this town over here. 2 full-size units. Wearing down our flank a bit. You can see this unit is losing pretty heavily. It's about to die. Alright. And enemy artillery in the rear of Warsaw is firing in support. We've done 2 of our minor or secondary objectives. The armored train in Kutno has been defeated. Fighters haven't dealt any damage because we don't have any fighters, and we haven't captured the Modlin fortress. God damn it. At least they didn't get ambushed. Alright, so did some damage to these Bofors, also pushed back this infantry. I think we're going to take Putusk next turn, and then hopefully start driving on some of these objectives to cut off Warsaw, even if we can't destroy it this turn. Okay. Alright, we destroyed that unit entirely with air forces. Now we've got to try... Alright, so that enemy cavalry unit should die next turn. This infantry maybe as well. I don't know what's smoking here. Trying to destroy a Polish air unit on the ground, that would be great. Meanwhile, I'm gonna shift this recon unit. Oh, fuck. Minefield! I'm gonna shift this recon unit, hopefully to the east, and keep it alive. But that's all of our movement points that turn. Okay. You can see the AI is shifting more of its forces east toward Warsaw. We're about 7 turns in out of 30. Artillery there firing against some Polish troops. Why are they evacuating the town of Pitek? Yeah, I really need to get some anti-aircraft guns over here. And they just took that town back for Poland, which does indeed... I mean, if they drive just a little bit further south toward Lutz, they can cut off our air. The AI should move to base these guys. I don't even know what kind of vehicle that is, but whatever it is a sitting duck. And their aircraft that was hangared at that airbase just landed. Sorry, I can't. Okay. Enemy bunkers firing against our infantry. Enemy artillery firing against our pioneers, but not actually doing anything. And an enemy counterattack into, not a rear per se, but certainly threatens us. Second Army Corps is arriving in the north. Okay, so that infantry's driven back. Nice. Drove that artillery back. Very nice. Destroyed that enemy infantry. Alright, so we're gaining some momentum here on the northern flank here. 2 enemy units could be destroyed next turn. We've got some Polish engineers to our front in this, what is this, the town of Butlusk. And if we get over that bridge, hopefully we can get back to some of these rear encirclement objectives. Also nearly destroyed this Polish unit over here. If we look at our destruction, we're at 13 units destroyed in 8 turns, so that's going well, I think. Okay, so those guys are destroyed. How's our air unit doing? Alright, I'm gonna go try and slow down this enemy offensive. One of our air units will divert to try and killing some of these Polish units over there on the flank. Alright, destroyed one more Polish unit here. Level bombers. Go bomb Patek. It'll destroy some of the enemy supply there. Hopefully slow down your troops advancing south. And then our troops in front of Warsaw are attacking some bunkers. That's a minefield. So we just took the airfield at Warsaw. We destroyed another enemy bunker. The enemy does have some very experienced infantry in town here. So I'm not really trying to make a big press for Warsaw yet. I'm just kind of trying to threaten it a little bit. This town means they're trying to, I guess, drive into our lines a bit. We should have most of these units coming back here to counter in a turn or two. But I think that about does that. That's all of our units here for turn 8. We're up to 16 units destroyed, so we're destroying 2 for every 1 turn. That'll make us clear the 40-unit threshold very comfortably. Now, it should just be a question of whether we capture or encircle Warsaw. Encircling Warsaw would involve taking, I believe, the southeast route, the eastern route, and the northeast route, rather than taking the city. We could try and drive some units, swing these guys around here, and threaten Warsaw from this direction. I may consider it. We've got plenty of time. We've got 22 turns to figure it out. Meanwhile, in the north, we've got to make some more progress in the north than we have thus far. I'm hoping these early troops we've engaged are kind of the vanguard, and there isn't much behind it, but I guess we'll find out. But you guys, I think that'll about do it for this video. We're over 30 minutes in, so the Battle of Warsaw Part 1 is going well. We've accomplished a couple of secondary objectives. We haven't lost too much yet in the way of casualties. We need to build up enough money so that we can purchase a fighter. We're up to 55 coins in our bank. That's 20 shy of a BF-109E to try and start bringing the enemy Air Force down to size. But so far, otherwise, things are going relatively well. Anyway, guys, until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and tune in next time. Alright, guys, thanks, and I'm out.